Hello, I'm Dana Nye, the president of the Ben Nye Company. I'd like to welcome you to our family of valuable customers. In a few minutes, I'd like to introduce you to some of our fine products. But right now, I'd like to give you the nickel tour of the Ben Nye Company, show you how some of our products are made, and tell you how our company began. My father, Ben Nye, was the makeup director for 20th Century Fox for 23 years, working with many different actors, designing and creating many exciting effects. He formulated his own cosmetics to meet the demands of high-intensity lighting and the durability to last through those long days on the set. His character makeups helped Patricia Madden become the Wicked Witch in Snow White and the Three Stooges. He scalped Lee Marvin for the Comancheros. He made monkeys of many of the cast in Planet of the Apes. He worked with presidents and even the Emperor of France. He even worked with insects. His mask for the fly was almost too horrible to be shown on film. He retired from 20th Century Fox and started his own makeup company to bring the high quality of his makeup to the public. It is in his memory that the Ben Nye Company dedicates its commitment to excellence. All the cream-based products are made right here in the lab at the Ben Nye Company, or the BNC. Many of the original products, like Mellow Yellow and Beard Cover, were designed by my father while he was still at the studio. But over the years, we've added dozens of new colors. Many of the colors and products come from suggestions we get from you. Since I also work as a makeup artist, I have an opportunity to see firsthand what new products are really needed. Then the BNC can quickly respond by developing an appropriate color or product. To create the colors, we use synthetic oxides. These are dry pigments and dyes that are non-toxic and will not stain the skin. They are carefully weighed out and milled or micropulverized into microscopically small particles. The cream base is a combination of ingredients that work together to give the non-oily consistency necessary for easy application and blending. Included in these ingredients are emollients to keep the skin soft and free from irritation. The milled pigments are added to the cream base, which is melted in the double boilers on the stove, and carefully blended to ensure a uniform dispersal of the pigment throughout the foundation. George and Oki then pour each and every piece using what we call a pot filler. Stand over a table like this every day for a while and you'll soon be able to spot anything that is not quite up to standard. Quality is a priority in the lab. We pour every item with the same care and attention to detail so that you will have only the best to work with. Once the products are all poured, they are capped and labeled by hand. Each item is picked up, capped, carefully stacked for labeling. Labels are placed on each container, giving you instant access to the color's name, its composition, and usually a brief set of instructions. Our liquid products are also handmade and poured to ensure their quality. We use a precision-calibrated pouring machine to make sure that each bottle is properly filled. Then each bottle is tightly capped. During each step, pouring, capping, and labeling, we are continually inspecting the products, guaranteeing you the highest quality makeup. Now that we've got all of the products made, we need to get them to you. Our shipping room doubles as our kit-making room. It's a very busy place. Everyone pitches in to help get things done. It's not unusual to find one of the front office staff helping out. The individual components are placed in the kits by hand and inspected yet another time to ensure their quality. And with that, we are ready to send you your completed kits and other accessories. Craig and Mark pull each item by hand and package it carefully. They carefully arrange each item in the box to ensure that you will receive it in its original condition. Packing material is used to fill in any empty spots and to keep the products in place. All orders are processed very quickly. Most go out within 24 hours, if not the same day, by UPS or mail. Special arrangements can be made for overnight shipping, second-day air, or for large shipments by truck. So that's how it's done. No mirrors, no trapdoors, just lots of personal attention to detail. Now, I'd like to show you the foundation tester board. And I'd like to go through the colors so you can see how the foundation series are designed. It seems as if the foundation colors are probably the most personal of anything that we have to offer. Many customers have been using another product line for, say, the last 20, 30 years. And our products are fairly new on the market. So at sometimes there's a certain resistance, and if you can tell your customers how these colors are designed, what the colors do, I think you'll have an excellent opportunity to show them what we've got going for us. And definitely, we have an improved line. All of the products that you see are cream base. This means that the products have just enough oil to make them spread. They're densely pigmented, yet they're light textured. Our customers really like that. And I think that you'll have an easy time selling these to your customers. Now, as we go through this board, you'll see that the first group here is called the Proscenium series. The Proscenium series are a group of products that are intensely colored. They tend to be colors that might be for both a main stage as well as a subtle setting like an arena, theater in the round. There's a pretty wide variety here. We have the P1 white, light pink, P2, P3 warm pink, ultra fair P4, the Old Age. The Old Age is worth special note here because it's one of our most best-selling colors. It's included in most all of our makeup kits, and it's a nifty color for aging those who really aren't that old. It mutes a healthy skin tone. The next color here is the natural tan, bronze tone, dark cocoa, and black. The dark cocoa is one of the darkest colors that we offer for black actors. The Auguste is a hobo clown base. It's pretty ruddy, and it's one of our newest colors. It's pretty popular. Chinese, Japanese, and Blythe Spirit. A Blythe Spirit is a kind of a ghostly color, and it's been pretty popular so far, and I think you'll have good luck with it. Now, that's the P series, or the Proscenium series. The next group that you want to consider is the L series. This is the light series. They're numbered 1 through 5. The higher the number, the darker the color. The L1 is the fairest. That's the creamy peach, light beige, rose beige, and tan rose. The female makeup kits include the L2. And I'd like to point out that they look a little darker in the case than they really are. Let me take my finger and just rub them, and you can see that the color, you might be able to see that the color is a little bit lighter. I'll take it on my wrist here and blend it out. It really has a very light texture to it, though it is a theatrical makeup. Now, the series that is the next darkest is down here. It's called the Tan series. There's Tan 1 and Tan 2. The Tan series is a healthy golden series. There's 2 shades. And then the next color series that you'll probably sell the most often is called the M series. They're also numbered 1 through 5. The higher the number, the darker the color. If I were to make someone up with a skin tone like myself, I'd probably go with an M2. Now, these colors look pretty dark in the case, and you might find some customers that say, oh, gee, I really don't think I could use that type of color. But when you rub it out, you'll find that it blends way out, it spreads, and it isn't such a dark color after all. It's a very nice color to intensify someone's skin that's already ruddy. There's another series called the Y series. This is a series that my father designed that is I guess a corollary to the M. And all of these colors are on the olive side, so they're less red. So there's a Y1, a Y3, and a Y5. The Y3 is similar to the M3. The Y1 is similar to the M1, but they're less olive. I mean, the Y is less red. It's a pretty series. They could be used for I like to use them for men, so they could be used for a male who might be Mexican, could be Italian, Southern Mediterranean, and it's a very attractive series. Now, the next group that we see right here is called the Film and Tape series. The Film and Tape series are numbered, and the first 2 shades, the Pale English and the Subtle Tan, are excellent male shades. The Creamy Beige and the Medium Beige and the Bronze Beige are very nice female shades. And the last 3 are new foundations that are designed specifically for black actors. Now, what's different from these shades from those that you might be already selling in the 20 series is that they're much more golden. As it turns out, many actors, many black actors, don't have that much red in their skin. So we designed these 3 new colors, the FT9, 11, and 13, to answer that need. You know, I work as a professional makeup artist, and last season I worked on Amen for, a couple months, and I made up Sherman Hemsley and some of the other cast members in that show. As you know, it's an all-black show. And I used all 3 of these shades, and they worked very, very nicely. They're very realistic looking. They don't turn the face red or gray, and they're definitely an improvement. So I recommend that you use them. We're using them now in our black theatrical kits, and I'll go through that with you in a few minutes. Now the next series here is the natural series. They're numbered 1 through 6. The colors start with fair, they go to cream, buff, deep olive, blush, and bronze. So the mid-tones are the N3 and the N4. My dad designed these for film, video, or fashion. They're much more neutral than, say, the L series. And I think that you may find that you have some streetwear customers that may come in and try these colors and like them. I know that when my brother did the Mary Tyler Moore show, I think the entire run, when she did her first show, Mary wore the natural number 6, the bronze. It's a subtle tan tone, very pretty. Then finally, on the bottom row, we have what are called the 20 series, and my dad designed these for Asian, Latin, and black performers. So the lighter shades, say the rice paper, the golden beige, could be used for a Asian or Oriental woman, perhaps a very fair Latin woman. The mid-tone, the 23, the 24, are those who have a deeper olive tone, and it's basically starting with 25 through 29 are shades broken down into light brown, medium brown, and then dark brown, running from the 29 back over to the dark cocoa. These are best-selling colors for black actors. The 27 and the 28 have always been very, very popular. So I hope that you will, if you're not already using the tester board, that you will consider it. Perhaps this is our first meeting, and I'm looking forward to many meetings. These boards have been very popular, and they're an excellent way for you to get new customers. Well, now let me show you several other boards that you'll want to consider. The next one is our lining board. Now, this is a fabulous group of colors right here. And all of the components on this board and the foundation board that we just saw all have the same creamy consistency. Again, it's a light textured makeup. It's water removable. Now, that's not water soluble. If it were water soluble, it would be like a pancake. And these are not pancake type makeups. They can be washed off with soap and water. And furthermore, they don't stain the skin, and they're excellent for almost everyone. Now, the first group that we'll see here are called the lining colors. Now, lining colors can be used for just about anything. And in fact, now there are categories here: liners, rouges, highlights, and shadows. Whatever the customer wants to do, it's up to them. So I'll tell you about some of the specialty colors that we have here, but let them decide. But the tester board allows them to try the colors, and then they can decide what they want to use. In this first group here, we're looking at white, forest green, green, yellow, goldenrod, orange, and sunburn stipple. Now, I'm going to stop at the sunburn stipple just for a moment, because it's a very neutral rouge tone that my father designed while he was still at 20th Century Fox. And it's excellent for both male and females, but I especially like to use it on guys. So if you have an actor coming into your store and that actor is looking for a cheek color that's on the neutral side, please recommend the sunburn stipple. Now, it doesn't say rouge on it, okay? You can still sell it as a rouge. That's the point here, that they're really versatile. Now, we have dark sunburn, cinnamon, fire red. Now, fire red is one of the two red lining colors that we offer, and it has orange in it. To me, in this lighting, it looks pretty orange, but it is in fact a red. Then we have blood red, maroon, misty violet, and purple. Blue, peacock, sky blue, blue gray, gray, beard stipple, and black. Now, the beard stipple is a nifty color. It's also a Ben Nye original from the days when he was working full-time as a makeup artist. It contains dark brown, black, and blue, and it's used with something called a stipple sponge. Now, you're probably already selling this, but if you're new to theatrical makeup, this is a nifty little item that you can sell. Well, the retail price is around $1.25, something like that. At Halloween, you cut them up into little sections, and perhaps you sell them for 35 to 50 cents. But when you cut one of these up, this coarse, poor, textured sponge pressed into the beard stubble and tapped onto the face makes a very realistic-looking beard stipple. Well, now the next group is called the cream cheek rouge. We have red, dusty rose, sandy rose, raspberry, dark tech coral, and the blush coral. The blush coral is one of my father's original colors for black actors. The next group is called the cream highlights, and they're called the extra light, light, medium, deep, and dark. Now, the most popular color that we offer is the extra light, and it's bright, it's pinkish, and it would be good for those women who have very fair skin tones, but it's also a general purpose theatrical tone too. Recently, we switched well, I'd like to say that we used to put this in almost all of our theatrical kits, but we've recently added a new color called the ultralight, and you'll be finding these available on a brand new tester board that I'll tell you about in a few minutes. But the light series, the entire highlight series, can be used to neutralize discoloration underneath the eyes. The basic one that you'll offer your customers is the light, and those who have deeper discoloration may want to use the medium or the deep. Now, the deep and the dark could also be used for black actors too, and so we do have a complete line, as you can see, for black actors, and they're an important part of the buying public. Then in the cream shadow series, we have medium, character, dark brown, and extra dark brown. The most notable color in the cream shadow series is the character shadow, and it's one of our best-selling products. It's medium, brown, and purple. This is a color which holds up very well under stage lighting, and when you view our new videotapes called Makeup for the Theater, you'll see the character shadow demonstrated in our old age lesson. It works very well, and it will be a popular color for you if it isn't already. Now, there's two special colors right here. They're called mellow yellow, and I bet that if you're dealing in cosmetics right now, you may have had requests for it. It's a special color that mutes redness. It could be acne, sunburn, capillaries, any kind of redness on the face. If you want to neutralize it or mute it, use mellow yellow. There's two shades. There's the normal, and there's the fair, the MY1. Now, below the mellow yellow is a special series called the 50 Sharp, the beard cover series. The first color is called the Studio, and it's another original color. You notice that of the three, it has the deepest, richest orange tone. It's for the darkest bluebeard shadow, and basically it goes on prior to the foundation, whereas the olive and the ruddy can be used either before or after. You know, there are certain customers who really have dark beards, and this does a very nice job in neutralizing that. Now, the group that is clustered over here is a special series, and it's a new one for us. It's called the Effects series. Well, what does that mean? These colors are designed to create special effects. The first group, the medium plum, burnt coral, charcoal blue, are colors for burns. And they're exactly what you'd see if you ran into a victim of a burn. The next group here, the dark burgundy, midnight, sapphire blue, are bruise colors, followed by the sallow green and the capillary. The sallow is an old bruise color. It's a bruise that's maybe 3 weeks old, 2.5, 3 weeks, just about ready to disappear. Capillary is a color which you use to create, with the stipple sponge, perhaps with your finger, an overall kind of a ruddy shade. The last three here at the bottom are called liver spot, freckle stipple, and age spot, and they're colors that were made specifically for the professional makeup artist. In fact, Dick Smith, a professional makeup artist from New York who won the Academy Award for Amadeus, helped us design these colors, and they've been very popular so far. Now, these colorful wheels at the bottom are called the effects kit colors. They're called bruises, cuts and bruises, burns and blisters, age, stipple, and severe exposure. These 4 color chamber wheels offer the user a lot of variety here. They're a good buy, and they've been a very strong seller for us in the last several years that we'd offered them. Now, you're starting to get the hang of what we offer you. And we've got another tester board that you'll want to consider. Now, these are the pressed colors. The first group here are the dry rouges. Now, these are significant because they just about cover the entire gambit of colors that are really required in the market. Flame red, coral red, raspberry, brick red, misty pink, coral, dark tech, and chestnut. The 2 of my favorite colors are the misty pink and the coral, although the flame red is a good bozo red. It's very intense. The chestnut can be used as a contouring shadow. The brick red is a very nice color for black actresses. I used that on a men this season past. It was very nice. This group here is called the Pressed Eyeshadow series. Pressed eyeshadows are a group that you'll recommend to your customers, your female customers for the most part, for contouring above their eyes, perhaps at the corner of the lower eyelids. There's a combination here of some that are slightly pearlescent, but many of them are matte. They're toast, misty lilac, sterling pink, violet, deep violet, burgundy, silver, forest moss, brown, dark brown, navy blue, charcoal, bronze sable, khaki, pink, clove, teal, blue-gray, royal blue, and black. Some of these colors are new for us, and they seem to fill out our line very nicely. The group over here are called pearl sheens. They're smaller, they're basically pearlescent, and they're brilliant. These take the place of those little pots of dust that were so popular a few years back. They're pressed. It means that you actually could drop them on the floor and they would still remain whole. That makes them a lot more durable than those little pots of dust, yet they're very brilliant. There are many colors here today. I'll let you look through our catalog at your leisure so that you can decide which colors you want, or perhaps you'll want to order the tester board. The last group here are called the cake eyeliners. They're for lining eyes. They could be used for creating fantasy makeups or animal makeups. The nice thing about them is that they're densely, very densely concentrated with color. You mix water with them, and you use a round sable brush. So that's the basic lineup of the Ben Nye products. Now, all of those tester boards are available at what is considered our cost. We have updated them several times since their introduction, and we will produce new tester boards from time to time so that you have all of the new products available. And I hope that you'll put those tester boards in your store. I think that you'll find that if you're new to the Ben Nye line, your customers will find it an easy product to switch to. Now, speaking of a way for your customers to become familiar with our products, one great way to do that is to use our makeup kit in your store. Now, this makeup kit in this simple cardboard box is, in fact, one of the best-selling products in the country today. This kit is worth about $65 worth of materials, and its retail price is about 55% off of that. So it's a fabulous investment. Now, who buys the makeup kit for such a substantial savings like that? Well, the primary user are the educational user. We sell a lot of kits to the colleges across the country. There are many high school teachers who also use the kit, as well as any number of thespians, clowns, community theater buyers like the kit because it makes such a fabulous introduction to the line. And let me just point out that the foundations in the kit total 5. It includes spirit gum, face powder, dry rouge brush, modeling wax, makeup remover, a latex foam sponge, silver hair gray, plus a number of lining colors. It includes the extra light, this happens to be coral red, character shadow, cinnamon, goldenrod, blue gray, misty violet. It also includes a special black liner, which is really an all-purpose product, a natural number 7 lip color, and a small rouge tone. Now, it used to be, if you sold kits for many years, that the old Max Factor kits were the little teeny kits they sold for about $4 or $5. They were little teeny, I guess, intros to the line. Well, we basically have decided that we want to put together a kit that is primarily full size and products pulled right out of the line. So that's what we're offering. Most students, by the way, take this and put their makeup in a tackle box. So we find that it's, for the most part, disposable, although I've run into buyers that have still had their makeup kits, say, for the last 20 years anyway. So those are the kits. Now there's 5 kits for you to consider. There's the white male and female, the olive male and female, and there's a black for both male and female actors. These kits are an excellent way for you to have your customers try our product. And once they do try our product, many customers make the switch. You know, in the world of cosmetics, we're a relatively newcomer. My father retired from 20th Century Fox in 1967 after being department head there for 23 years and having been a makeup artist for more than 30 years. He had a dream. He felt that his products were special. And after having been part of this company since 1970, I know that these products are special, and we've worked very, very hard at making them just as current and contemporary as could be imagined. And my father used an amazing degree of imagination over the course of his years, and we carry on in his tradition today, keeping very close to the customer and meeting their needs. And I hope that you'll join us in helping the customers as we want to. There's another group of products here that I'll just briefly mention, and that is a makeup kit that's called the Film and Video Kit. There's 2 of them. There's one called the Master and one called the Basic. So if you have customers that come in and they want an assortment of products that would be just for film and video, please recommend the Film and Video Kit because they're very comprehensive. They're a heck of a buy, and for the most part, these are the things that I carry in my own makeup kit when I work as a professional. Now, there's a group of products that I have stacked up over here, or lined up. These little soldiers are very important to the line, and I'm sure they're going to be important to you. Let me run through them, starting with some of the little guys in the front here. Spirit gum remover. This is a fine light oil that easily removes spirit gum, and it's a product that we introduced in the last couple of years, and it's Been very, very popular. There's a little smaller size here too. This is a 1 ounce, and then we have a half. We have a 1/4 ounce spirit gum, a 1 ounce spirit gum. We're using a plastic container here, so if it drops it won't shatter like some glass containers do of the spirit gum. What do you do for brush cleaner? Well, maybe your customers have to wash their brushes with soap and water, or maybe they're using acetone or alcohol. Well, I can tell you one thing. The brush cleaner is the best material on the market for cleaning brushes. We use it in our own laboratory as a general cleanup solvent, and it cleans brushes quickly and instantly, and it's available in larger sizes too. This happens to be the 2 ounce size, and I recommend it to your customer. Remember, when you sell them a brush, offer them the opportunity to buy brush cleaner so they don't have to, spend a lot of time cleaning brushes. Most customers don't have 5 or 6 brushes in their kit, and when they need to switch it quick. So do it with brush cleaner. Now, liquid latex is packaged in what we call a polyvinyl chloride bottle, a clear bottle. It's durable, and it's attractively packaged, which I can tell you all of our liquids are nicely packaged. Another important characteristic of what we offer you is information, and all of these bottles have some directions on the back that will help your customer get through their projects easily. Now, note that this is not a white liquid latex. It has a little bit of a flesh tone to it, but you know what? It dries almost clear. So those who start using our liquid latex swear by it. Well, they stand behind it anyway, let's say that. And most people say it doesn't have as much ammonia in it as some of the more industrial grade liquid latex products. Now, the next product I'm holding up here is one that we sold to Yul Brynner for years and years for the King and I. It's called the bronzing tint, and you can use it as basically a stain for the skin. You can sell it to customers who are going to an Hawaiian party, or they're going in a costume that's short and sexy, or you're doing King and I or Night of the Iguana, and you have to make your customers, the actors, look tan very quickly. So it works nicely. All of these products are available in larger sizes. Now, silver hair gray is one of those special colors that my dad designed many years ago. Notice it's dual layered at this point. We've got a lot of yellow at the top. We've got some silver at the bottom. The key with this is to shake it up to the point where you can see bubbles through the bottom. Now, what this does is it's an alternative to using a spray like Nestle's Streak and Tips. When you use a spray, it sets the hair like hairspray. It's unmanageable. But when you shake this up, pour it out into some kind of a receptacle, and apply it with a toothbrush, it's very easy to put into the hair, and it's manageable. It won't flake out like shoe polish did in the old days, and it shampoos out very, very nicely. Now, another product for coloring the hair is our Snow White hair color, and it's based on the old Max Factor Supreme White, which is very white, and theirs was the best product for white on the market, and ours is today, I'm happy to say. The next product we have is called the Stage Blood. Now, there's a number of Stage Bloods on the market, but I can tell you one thing: the Ben Nye Stage Blood is probably the most realistic product that you're going to find. The Stage Blood, maybe you've already heard about it, maybe you've been selling it for years, but it has a zesty mint flavor, and our customers like that. Now, there's a number of very practical sizes that we offer for the Stage Blood, especially the 1 ounce and the ½ ounce. They're excellent at Halloween time. Now, it doesn't stain the skin, and it won't stain most costumes, but please tell your customers that it may stain, and they should test it before they use it. That way they won't be disappointed. Very few costumes do stain, but occasionally they do. But the Stage Blood is a movie quality blood, and it looks very real, as opposed to some bloods that have kind of a Kool-Aid quality, and they're not believable. Well, now we're getting close to the end of this group. This is our makeup remover. It's also a fine light oil, and it's a very nice way to remove makeup. You know, I mentioned a little while ago that our products were water removable, and they are. Basic foundation, rouge, highlight, shadow makeup that you'd use to design a straight male character or a beauty makeup are easily removable with soap and water. But let's say you do a heavier makeup for old age. Well, you might want to take it off with makeup remover. And by the way, if you use our latex foam sponges, and they are packaged in a container or a dozen pack like this, the sponge is a very nice way to remove the makeup. So it's a little technique that I learned from a professional artist a few years ago when I was trying to scrub an actor's makeup off with a tissue. And he walked up to me and he said, take this section of sponge, put some makeup remover on it, and go over the face, and it gently removes the makeup. And customers like that. Now, the last product I've got to show you here in a liquid variety is called the Wrinkle Stipple, and it's a color or product that we made for the professional makeup artist everywhere, and you use it around the eyes or on the face to create subtle wrinkles. Now, it's a type of latex, but it's a finer grade of rubber, so it's not as harsh on the skin, but it makes very realistic looking rubber wrinkles. Now, I must tell you, I can see that we're missing one important liquid today, and it wandered off, I don't know where, but it's called castor sealer. Castor sealer is a sealer that you use over latex appliances. These could be the castor sealer, or maybe some of the nice Wuchi products that we sell. This is used instead of castor color, or I mean rubber mask grease. If you're selling rubber mask grease, I suggest that you give the castor sealer a try and then recommend to your customers that they don't have to use that heavy castor color, but they can use our regular cream-based makeups over the sealed castor color. Now, I have set up over here at the corner, I guess we've got Big Bear. Well, anyway, we've got a quart and a pint and a half a pint. Most all of our liquids are available in the large packaging. Now, at the present time, the liquid latex is available in the quart, and so is stage blood. Most everything else is available in pints, and these are, for the most part, excellent buys for your customer. For the institutional buyer, like the college and high school teacher, this is the way that they're used to buying, and I hope you'll offer those larger sizes to your customer. Well, now we're going to take a look at the face powder. Now, in the old days, there were 22 colors of face powder. Now, we never offered that many, but perhaps if you've been in the market selling theatrical cosmetics for many years, you can remember all of those old face powder colors. Well, for us, there's 4 basic colors, and the best-selling product is called the Fair. Now, the Fair is kind of a peachy tone, and it's an all-purpose color for anyone with a fair to olive skin tone. Now, the next color to consider, which is a translucent, is the Cocoa Tan, and it's for black actors. Now, it's a translucent too, but instead of having the peach tone, it has a little bit of a coral tone, so that when you put it on a brown skin tone, it won't turn it gray or pasty. Now, the third translucent powder we have is called the Neutral Set. It's relatively new. It's been very popular. And what does it do? It's, as the name implies, it's clear, it's neutral, it doesn't change the shade of your colors. Now, when is that important? Well, when you're doing a special effect makeup, a bruise, a cut, a burn, any time when you don't want the color to change at all. Now, another nice quality that you can tell your customers about is the fact that it has a little antiperspirant in it as well. So any character can use it, and it's nice for those who perspire. It's good for those actors who work in summer stock in the Northeast or the Southeast where it's hot and muggy. The Neutral Set does a heck of a job controlling perspiration. The Super White. Now, The super white's an interesting color because it's got white pigment in it. So we don't call it a translucent. No way, no how is this translucent. It's white. Regardless of whose clown white you sell, if you'll sell our super white powder, I can guarantee you that your customer will be happy with it because it will make it whiter. So that's the super white. Those are the 4 powders. And they're offered in 2 different sizes. I think you probably saw me pull this out of the small kit, or the basic theatrical kit. This is 1 3/4 ounce. These are 3 1/4 ounces. For Halloween time, you might want to go with the smaller sizes. But they're nice, they're practical, they're obviously less money. But for the institutional customers, they tend to go with the larger size. But you have a choice. You can go either way you want. Now, over here we have what are called gelatin blood capsules. These are just what the doctor, well, I don't know if he ordered them or not, but in this package you've got 35 blood capsules, and over here you've got 10. Now, they're clear, and your customer fills them up. And you'll use them within about, well, if you want them to, the idea, of course, and I think you probably already know this, you put it in your mouth, you bite on them, the blood comes flowing out of your mouth, and you can use it in a play or a disaster drill, or you can use it at a party, what have you. They're pretty popular. Now, looking over to my left, I want to tell you a little bit about brushes. We use a very nice synthetic brush for our flats. They're numbered 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 5, 7, 10, and 12. Now, I use these in my own makeup kit. They work very nicely. If you're familiar with artist brushes, you know that red sables are very expensive. When you compare the retail price versus the sable, these are substantially less, and yet they work very, very well. The other group of brushes we have here are the round sable. And you'd use those to apply the pearl sheens, eyeshadows, or watercolors. The little ones are the number 1, the number 2, and the largest are the 4 and the 6. Now, here's 2 brushes that you'll see used quite a bit in our new videos that we've made, and perhaps you've already seen them by now. But the first, the smaller, is the dry rouge brush. And it can be used to apply dry rouge, or it can be used to remove powder. This is the duster brush, and it's very, very popular. Again, remove excess powder, apply powder, what have you. This little fella here is a modeling tool. It's excellent for applying the nose and scar wax. So consider these basic tools because your customers need them. As you look over here, you see a bag of sponges. We talked momentarily about the nylon stipple sponges. They're available individually as well as dozen packs too. We also offer a very nice velour powder puff that, is padded, and it's what I would use to set a person's makeup. Also available in a dozen pack as well. Now, if you'll join me over here on this side of the table, you'll see a very pretty display of lipsticks. We offer a dozen basic lipsticks. There's quite a nice range. We have the gloss with vitamin E oil, the coral, dusty rose, garnet, plum pink, and our natural number 7. Now, I'll just pull this one out just for a moment. The natural number 7 is a color that you can offer to your customer when they don't want to go with a lipstick type color. It's a neutral color. It's good for both men and women. In the makeup kit, it comes in one of those little pat containers. But this is our best-selling lipstick, and you're going to have good luck with this if you're not already selling it. Then we have a range that goes from our cranberry, plum, Bordeaux, natural brown, which is for black actors. We have 2 reds. One is a true red, which is the blue red, and the siren red, which has an orange tone. There's 2 very nice mascaras that we offer. One black, one brown. They're water resistant. They have a nice roller brush. And I get a lot of compliments from them. Though there are many, many mascaras on the market These work beautifully. The other little fellows here are liquid eyeliners, and they're eyeliners with a little brush built in. They have a very fine brush, and it's easy to apply an eyeline above or below the eyes. Now, if you'll join me with this group of fellows over here, we have a whole family of what we call the nose and scar wax. Well, now, these are offshoots of what were basically mortician waxes, and we formulated our own nose and scar wax. This particular shade is called the Fair, and it's been with us for quite a few years. It's used to change the shape of the nose or make cuts, or you can make bullet holes with it. You can build out the chin, the nose, and it's a very popular product with us. And the two that you probably are most interested in for Halloween are the 1.5 ounce and the little fella here, which is the 0.7. It's included in all of our makeup kits, and it's popular. Now, I mentioned that this is the Fair. We've added a color which we're calling the Nose and Scar Wax Brown, and it's for black actors. It's also available in the smaller sizes, and it's included in our new. It's included in the black kits now. So those black actors who are going to do those same kind of modeling projects are not going to have to use the Fair anymore. Now, we've got two very popular products here. One is called the Thick Blood, and it's a product which you can use, or your customer can use, to create cuts and abrasions. And the neat thing about it is that once it goes on, it stays put. It's dimensional. You could spray it with a little bit of water if you wanted to make it kind of plasmic. The Thick Blood and the Fresh Scab. Now, the Fresh Scab is a little different because it has a brown tint to it, and it looks like an older cut. You could put it inside of a bullet hole, or if you were making an amputation, it would go around the socket that was left exposed. Kind of grisly, isn't it? But nonetheless, it works great. And at Halloween time, these little 1 ounce containers are very popular. Last year was our first year with these, and boy, we sold a lot of them, and I think that you'll have very good luck with them. Now, this group here is our Clown White. Now, you know, when it comes to Clown White, we have one of the very finest products in the market, and it's made out of the same formula that some of the other traditional makers have used, but we've redesigned it so it's easier to apply. It's a little lighter, but yet it's very, very white. This is the 2 1/4 ounce. Now, at Halloween time, I'd steer you towards the 1 3/4 ounce, or the little fella here. It's 0.65. It's good for 4 to 6 applications. And it's very popular with moms who maybe just want to buy a very small amount for their son or daughter at Halloween time. And it lasts, and it looks good. It doesn't feel heavy. It does a great job. And they're reasonably priced, too, I might add. So that's our Clown White. There are 3 powders that I'd like to tell you about. One is called the Plains Dust. Well, what is Plains Dust? It's kind of a dirt. Now, there happens to be another brand of dirt that's named after a very popular state, and it's very red. Well, the Plains Dust isn't red, but it looks like real dirt. It's much browner and very useful. Now, we've got 2 other dusts that you'll want to know about, and one is the charcoal. Charcoal can be used to be put onto a burn around a bullet hole. It can be smudged to look like grease, and it comes in this container as well as a larger container. And it's very realistic looking. It's just exactly what the professional makeup artist uses. Finally, the ash powder. Now, you're probably wondering if, you know, this is all really necessary. Well, it is. The ash powder is a light soil, and when you blow it on the actor's face, it looks like they could have been out into a storm of some kind. It's a light soil, a light ash. It distresses the makeup. It produces a very realistic looking result. And you know, what we're after here is a selection of products that answers so many needs of the customers. Well, now, we're just about done, and I'd like to just point out a basic selection here of our Halloween products. Now, all year round, our rainbow wheel and our red, white, and black are quite popular. Now, the rainbow wheel is a 6-chambered wheel. It is sitting next to our red, white, and black, which actually contains the white liner and our true red and our black. Mimes like to use this. Now, in this next grouping, we have Halloween wheels. Color wheel, vampire, wicked witch, cuts and scrapes, red, white, and black. This next group are our bright color bases: white, gray, black, fire red, orange, blue, purple, green, and yellow. This next group here is called the character base, and it's a very nice selling product for those folks who come into your specialty store, want a good-looking product to create their Halloween designs. These colors are Vampira or Elvira type makeup, Vampire, Old Age, Rogue, Minstrel Brown, Wicked Witch, and Werewolf. And then we also have the little lip colors: Black, Vampira, True Red, and Gang Green. Now, these are also available to you now, and these are in answer to our customers who have been asking for tester boards for these Halloween products. They're now available. I mentioned that we have some new products, and we're developing a new tester board. We're calling it our mini board, and it includes the new product Ultralight, our new Coverette series, which is a neutralizing series for those who are recovering from plastic surgery, Coverette. We also have a new color called the Character Wheel, and that is in our Effects series. And there's 3 new wheels that I think will be very popular for you, and they are the Highlight Kit, the Shadow Kit, and the Coverall Kit, which is a 4-chamber container full of colors that you can use to neutralize blue or tattoos or redness, anything like that. Due to popular demand, we've now added some of the Wuchi line's series of noses, and they're available all year round. We see the Pixie, the large Pixie, Space Ears. Say, aren't they terrific? We've got the Witch set, and we have a small and a medium clown nose, a black button. We've got a werewolf or a cat, a large werewolf, bullet holes, the devil, cat face, large and small. These are very easy to apply. They come packaged either in a container that fits on your pegboard, or it comes in a little box like this. Now the cat comes in that. Most of the other Wuchi products are now on a little chipboard, and you can hang it right on the boards that you may have in your stores. Now, I'd like to show you, if you're not already familiar with our Deluxe Clown Kit, this is a beautiful little kit that is for the serious clown user. And on top of that, we have 4 other little kits. We have the Cuts and Bruises. We have a Junior Clown, Vampire. They all have step-by-step directions, and the Wicked Witch. Now, I bet we're going to have to get together again sometime in the future. I hope that we have the opportunity to meet at the Halloween show in Chicago, which is becoming a fabulous meeting place every year in April. If you're a member of the Costumers Association, there's a good chance we're seeing you at the Chicago show as well as the annual convention in July. Well, now I hope you have a better understanding of the Ben Nye line, and I'd like to thank you for spending this time with us. I've certainly enjoyed it. When you need to order, I think that you'll find our office staff extremely knowledgeable and ready to help. When you call, you may get our office manager, Robin Goldstein. She handles all new accounts in addition to many of the day-to-day tasks. She and I work closely on many of the decisions made regarding new products and marketing. She also straightens out the computer's mistakes and keeps it online and inline. I'm sure you've spoken with her, or that you will at some time in the future. However, it's probably Julie Brackenbury, our customer service rep, that you've spoken with the most. In addition to customer service and taking orders over the phone, Julie handles all of the traffic coming through our fax machine. It's a fast and accurate means of sending in your order. Of course, we'll take your orders over the phone. You can also mail our handy order form to our offices in LA. The order forms are available at no charge. You may have also spoken with Felice on occasion. She is the chief order entry person, and without her, things would never get done. Of course, I'm almost always in at the office, except when I'm visiting dealers or presenting a makeup lecture. I like to stay very current with what's happening, not only within our company, but also with our clients. By staying in close contact, we are better able to make any adjustments or improvements, as well as hearing firsthand what new products you'd like to see. Hopefully you have a better understanding of the Ben Nye Company and what we can do for you. I know that we look forward to hearing from you, and we wish you the best of luck.